It's good. So today I'm going to be breaking down what I see happening in the market this week. We have heavy USD news, so I'll be diving into that more than anything. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Mike Navarrete. I've been trading since 2015, really 2016, and then from there, the journey really begins. And as you guys know, I've been doing stuff like this. I've been streaming live for 7 years now. And what I want to do is just to share with you guys some of my insight, something, I go over this stuff every day. So you guys probably already plugged in with me anyways. But yeah, just going to give you guys an outlook. This works out really well this week because today, MLK Day, bank holiday. So we didn't really have much going on anyways. Some crypto action, but nothing really crazy. And so I'll go over kind of what I expect for the entire week. One of last week's setup just triggered here about an hour ago. So good to go there. And I'll go over that briefly, just to kind of how you can manage it, how I'm managing it right now. But guys, again, this is live. So any questions you all have in the chat, feel free to share. And yeah, we'll start going over some setups here as well. So let's dive right into it. I'm going to share my screen, but any questions y'all might have, like I said, ask in the chat. If you have setups that you want me to look at that you like, again, feel free to just share them in there, and we'll dive right in. So yeah, good to be here with everyone. Happy Monday, and let's do the thing. Here we go. All right, so you all should be able to see my screen now, right? Let me know before I start going into, I'll go crazy on these charts, and then all of a sudden you guys can't even see anything here. All right, cool. So what's up, y'all? It's a little slow today. Let me close a couple things out. You guys ever go to close programs out and then you actually close out the program that you're using to record? Like I almost just closed Zoom, being on Zoom. But all right, let's dive into it. So what I got going on right now, and this is extremely slow. Hold on. There we go. Cool. So I'm going to start off with a trade that I'm managing at the moment. And then we went over this morning as well. So I'll go over this one, and then from there, we'll really dive into the news events for the week, what we can expect, and everything that goes along with that. Okay, so right now, I just took this setup, and I think I'm about to go break even on this. Like my setup is already at break even, but I think that it's about to trigger my stop loss, which is risk-free at the moment. And I'll go over why I went risk-free right away and kind of what my game plan is when I do look at the market like this. And so one thing you'll notice is I move around like the drawings and things quite a bit. And an easy trick, I always like to have my candles in the front of everything, so it just looks clean. So I'll right-click the candles, visual order, and I'll send to the front so that I can just see everything really nicely. So I took the sell here, and honestly, we had a really, really great reaction. We instantly went about 30 plus pips in our favor. Had I exited 2 risk reward, we would have actually already been in profit and we would have been good to go. But I did go a little bit further than that. We'll see. My entry was right over here, right up here. So, and here's why. So this is the setup for those of you that weren't on the live sessions last week and today, for those of you that are missing out on all the fun. Basically, what happened was December 13th, we saw a huge spike up here. And this big spike to the upside, this eliminated a lot of retail sellers over here. So we had a huge push up here, and then instantly we saw market come down. We saw the market give us an imbalance. So if I now go to a smaller time frame and I use this replay tool and I go back over here, we'll see that I can zoom in on the 1 hour, the 15-minute, and you can get a better look at the market here. You guys can see me adjusting everything, right? And like moving these around. I want to make sure I'm sharing the right screen. Yeah, right. Just confirm in the chat for me real quick. Yes, perfect. Thank you, Bruce. So we see this push up to here, clears out these retail sellers, and then immediately comes crashing down. So there was an open buy position right here. This is all I'm waiting for. We come back to this area and I take a sell. Now you'll see a secondary zone right here. This is where we had previously seen the market reverse. So what used to be resistance, well, this huge push up, it eliminates all of those sellers, but these areas are still really strong. So in the future, the market can definitely reverse from these same zones, which is why I took my current sell in this area. So that's exactly why I took this idea here. And we did see price come all the way up to here. And if I moved, depending on how I manage my stop loss, which I don't remember right now, if it was precisely here, a couple pips in profit, depending on the spread, this might have tagged me out. We'll see if I got lucky or not. But this is the entry that we took from right here. And my exit is based off of the structure we just saw. And if you guys notice something here, look at how the market was working its way up. So if you look at this, we had some equal lows right here. Then we got some more support, just kind of building up all in this area. So we had support, and then a couple hours ago, we saw a massive spike down before a quick reversal. So I see this and I'm like, okay, well, this looks like a pretty intentional push to the downside before we get a bullish movement. So could the market come back down to here, close off this sell, and then just keep pushing higher, which I think is definitely a possibility. So that's why I'm not going any further. Originally, I actually wanted to take this way further down, but now seeing how the market, the new information that we have, the market could easily reverse here, and I could still lock into 3.5 to 1. So in terms of entry and exit, a 3.5 risk reward is fantastic. We're seeing that the market pumped pretty aggressively just to lose quite a bit of steam. Solid. So this is now coming back down. This may or may not work out for us. At this point, though, I am risk-free. So when do I know when to go risk-free, right? Some of you are probably asking that question. How do I know when I should move my stop loss to break even, etc.? And so what I did was, you saw that really, that big move from the past. Well, this pink zone here is that move. So this pink zone that I drew was like supposed to be red, but whatever. It's about 28 pips. So whenever the market starts to reverse on me, whenever it does that 28 pip reversal in this example, that's when I move my stop loss either to break even. So I have $0 at risk, especially if I snipe the entry, then I'll move it to break even. If I feel like my entry wasn't the best and I want to give it a little bit of, a little bit of room so that in case it pulls back a little bit, that I don't get stopped out, break even, then I'll just tighten it to the nearest structure. So in this case, my entry was pretty good. So I did end up moving it like right to break even. And so right now it's working out. But let's say our entry would have been just a lot lower and we would have just seen more drawdown. Then if I like the overall where it's going, if I like how it's playing out, I'll just move my stop loss. And so that way, worst case, I don't lose nearly as much as I would have normally. And I still give myself an opportunity to let the trade ride. So that's what I got going on so far with this setup. Let me know here if any of you are in this trade with me. I went over this morning, and then I think it was like Friday or Thursday on the live session. So some of you are in that. Perfect. It looks like some of you are also riding this risk-free as well. Amazing. So cool. That's just what I started here because this is just happening right now. And I want to make sure you guys are managing this properly. Now let's dive into what to expect for the week. Right? 'Cause that's what y'all really want. You're like, all right, cool, Mike. I missed that one. I'm feeling FOMO. Help a trader out, right? What are we doing here? So again, dollar bank holiday today. No need to trade. I will add this, guys. It's the beginning of the year, so it's really right now a lot of traders, a lot of people they want to be in the market. They want to make that money. They want to have some fun. You want to see profits. You want to grow your accounts. So it's really normal for people to force themselves in the market, for people to trade things that aren't there. So don't be a victim of your short-term desires. The setup isn't there. It's all good. Don't trade. The setup isn't there. The setup isn't there. Let's not force anything. So today, if you somehow traded during New York session, I honestly wouldn't be surprised. I just don't see, there's just not much really going on. But cool. What's good is we have the rest of the week. The rest of the week moving on. And so this will give us a good January to work with so far. Now, what I don't normally go over is indices on this session, just because usually like our setups happen right before New York Open, or right after. So literally 95% of my trades happen during New York session with the indices. However, I do have some gold ideas that I like. I have an NZD setup that I like, and I'll share with you guys. And we'll just run through this right now. But let me know in the chat, how many of you trade London session? Let me know in the comments, the chat, how many of you trade London session? Me in caps. Sometimes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, Hindu pips. All right, so some of you guys. I'm not a London session trader, but there's a couple pound news events that are happening at just different times throughout this experience. So actually, I just noticed I'm definitely on UK time because of my VPN. So let me switch this over to what more of you can relate to, which will be Central Standard Time or Eastern Time. This will make a lot more sense. All right. So here we go. This will be, I think, easier to work with. So I'm on Central Time. I'm in Chicago right now. So we have pound news in about, what time is it? About 5 hours, 4.5 hours or so. So we got pound news, and then you got CAD news tomorrow with CPI. That should be great. That should be fun. And then we have dollar news as well. Pound news later, 30 minutes after New York Open tomorrow. So tomorrow, New York session is going to be, it's going to be active. It's going to be fun. Wednesday, again, we have London session set up with pound. We have dollar news, and then we even have Australian news in the evening. Thursday, more dollar news, and Friday, pound and dollar news. So a lot of pound news, a lot of dollar news. I would expect volatility with both. And I think we're going to get some pretty good setups. So let's see what's in store for us. And I'm just going to go in order. I'm going to start with pound since we have that news event in a few hours. And then we'll go from there. If you guys have anything you want me to look at, then obviously I'll check those out too. But let's dive right in. So GBPAUD, let's see if we hit, maybe this hits take profit while we're on this session. We'll have this here. Go. See if I can name this. TP. Okay. So cool. Let's kick off the GBP markups. We'll start with Euro GBP. I doubt that I'll have it set up here, to be honest. The GBP, it's just not my favorite. Never been a fan here. We'll start out a little zoomed out, and then we'll go from there. And we'll go from there. So 4-hour Euro GBP. All of 2024 so far has been a slow chop down. So it definitely is working our way down. Let me actually zoom out to the daily. I think that'll be a better better outlook here. So we did see Euro GBP work its way higher Q4 of the year when we end up making higher highs on the dollar, right? So we end up actually trading up here before working our way down and pulling back really deeply, filling in some imbalance before rallying up again. And so with Euro GBP, market's been dipping for a couple weeks now. Looks like it's getting ready to start to run bullish again with what we call accumulation. So right now it's kind of like waiting for the 1 hour to give us the green light for some buy positions here. So we had lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and then we've just been inside of this huge range. So since for about a week or so, we've been inside of a, what is this? 39 pip zone. So we've just been sitting in here, and this is racking up just a ton of money. There's retail sellers in the market here. It's pretty clear. And then we have maybe this is a lower low, but price doesn't even trade down here. So we can tell that price doesn't want to be down here, at least not for a while. Every time it comes down, it's very brief and quickly it recovers. So the market also chops its way up really well. So healthy price action as this is slowly giving us higher highs and higher lows. Now what we're seeing at the moment, and this happened on the switch over into a new trading day. One thing I'll say is this. So for example, this is 4 p.m. Central Time. That's where we go from one trading day to the next trading day. During these times, you want to check different data feeds because some brokers, they just do weird things at the start of a new trading day. So they'll open up spreads and all of a sudden things will look like a massive wick, or it looks like price went somewhere that it didn't really go to. So because we got a giant move here, it's precisely on the open of a new trading day, I like to look and refer to other things here. So we're looking at FXCM's data feed. If we look at Oanda, what do we see? Euro GBP wick down. Okay, so it did do the same thing with Oanda. FXCM. See how they're different? Put them side by side. This is what Euro GBPs look like with, what was it? FXCM's on the left, and then Oanda's on the right. Let's check this out. So this is entirely different. Here's this wick down. Same thing here. This goes down, but look at this low here. With FXCM, this goes below the low. With Oanda, it definitely does not go down as deep. Not even close. So this can be misleading for us, right? This can give us totally different price points. And so what do you do in this example? You want to refer to a couple different ones. So you want to cross-examine. And you see that this one's forex.com's data feed. This looks a lot closer to Oanda's. Definitely doesn't look like FX. FXCM went below. So this is how you can get misleading data points with your market, with your pairs, with everything. And then Pepperstone came all the way down here. So like, okay, what's the right data feed? This gapped really weird on the new trading day. So if you feel like you're seeing information that just doesn't really add up, the best thing you can do is nothing. You're like, all right, you know what? I'm not even sure if that makes sense. Right? It's not as clean. It's not as direct. So let me just not even deal with this. And you move on because you can. Remember that these markets, it's up to us. We make up the rules. So you decide if you want to be in or you don't. But what I will say is you don't have to, don't feel like you have to be in everything. There's never going to be a limit of opportunity in these markets at any means. Like it's always going to be there. So cool. We'll just not be involved with Euro GBP and we'll move on. Now, GBP odd, similar scenario. We got this wick down. Again, it happened around the opening of a new day. What does another look at this? I look at Oanda, this doesn't even exist. That spike down, it's not even real. I go look at this somewhere else, forex.com. That huge spike that happened on FXCM doesn't exist. I look at, let's pull it up again. Pepperstone, a little bit. So it looks like Pepperstone and FXCM, they must have a similar liquidity provider because it's similar things are happening to those. Black Bull, nothing. So think about it, like think about this, right? Because I didn't check earlier. I based my exit around data that's not even real. This is how much these brokers will mess with traders. They'll literally create and move data to open up spreads so that trash like this happens. And that's what I said, guys, take a look at what's going on, especially if it's happening at like that switch over of a new day or a new session. Double check with different brokers because that data might not even be accurate data. They open spreads up just to be able to stop traders out during these times. Oh, I just got a cramp. Yo, guys, leg day and then sitting and streaming, terrible idea. Oh my God, my hamstring is absolutely fucked right now. Oh my God. But hey, don't skip leg day, guys. Um, so with that being said, okay, we're good. Oh my goodness. Should teach Miguel some lessons on leg day. Yo, that's messed up, man. That boy, that boy's legs are messed up. He can't even do it if he wanted to. Respect your elders, all right? Abuelito Miguel out there. Baby. Tizzle, what you know about leg day, bro? You're probably still squatting 2 plates. So before I disrespect all my people that skip leg day, let's get back on task. Yeah. I can squat you exactly, bro. That's the problem. That doesn't mean anything. I weigh less than 200 pounds. Um, so look, don't allow this data feed to mess with your setup because now I don't even need to keep this in here. I don't even need to look at this because it's not actually relevant because this data is wrong. So let's move on, right? If this hits over here, perfect. If not, we'll continue. So body fat check. Yeah, it's funny. All right. Now GBPCAD, again, it's a similar situation. Actually, I think I need to change all of my feeds because some of this data might not be accurate. But look at what we just saw with GBPCAD. No, this one's fine. GBPCAD, because again, we have pound news in a little bit. So we want to take a look at, can we expect any new setups going forward? GBPCAD, we have higher highs, higher lows. And then we just saw a price spike all the way up here during, what was this? A little bit after New York session before it comes down again. And then just now we saw that spike down in the previous hour. And this right now is making equal lows. So is there a clean opportunity to get involved in a trade idea here? It's not my favorite, right? GBPCAD, definitely not my favorite. We'll notice that we have a lot of equal lows. So there's a lot of retail buying at these levels. So we wouldn't want to take any buys there. We also notice that there's more equal lows here. So there's a lot of retail buy positions in this zone. Not looking to do anything there either. So here we sweep these highs, and then price is slowly working its way down. So could we be looking for sells with GBPCAD? We had a lot of money selling equal highs, double tops, triple tops, quadruple tops, quintuple tops, and then price rated these highs. If we zoom out, maybe it targets something on the higher time frame. Maybe played off of over somewhere over there. But regardless, sweeps these highs and then price immediately comes back down. So we can notice that price starts to aggressively push to the upside here. And then from this area, we can be expecting possible sells, but this is really important, but for this to be a highly probable setup, I want to see this give us a low. And let me add the confirmations up here, or my confirmations up here. They don't necessarily need to be yours. These are simple confirmations. So first we're looking for structure, understanding where's the market doing, what is it doing overall, where's the market flowing, which we've been bullish. Where's the liquidity? So we realized, okay, there's retail sellers in the market here, or there was, and then price sweeps these highs. Those retail sellers get stopped out. They close up their positions. Market works its way down. We also noticed that there's more liquidity down here as well. So there is motive for price to go down to here and below this, which is great. There's also equal lows over here. So there's more incentive for price to get down to these levels. After we see an institutional order and then the market give an imbalance and just continue to work its way down, what I really do want to see is I want to see us confirm that we're bearish and for price to find some stability down here before we would get a reversal and before we keep working our way down. So right now we didn't see the shift in structure. We saw a higher high, then we had a higher low. Price gets up to this level, but it wasn't sustainable. This gets above here, but does it stay up there? Does it really trade up here very long? Not at all, guys. Not at all. So this is a fake. That's fake structure right there. That's misleading. I don't want to deal with any of that right there. This to me is showing that this is losing steam. But ideally, we were to get a lower low. We didn't get that yet. So as of now, if price right now were to come back to this zone, I wouldn't sell because we're still bullish in structure. We haven't broken beneath this yet. If we're to trade down here and stay down here for a bit, respect the lower lows, then I'm thinking, okay, now we're overall switching bias, switching directions. Let's wait for something. So unless something like this happens, I'm not necessarily taking anything here with GBPCAD. If it does though, like if price works its way down and we can trade down here for a little longer, then I would be looking for something like this. But as of right now, it's too early to tell. Entry confirmations. I appreciate you, Ace, for sending that. So here's GBPCAD potential. Keyword is potential there. All right, so let's move on from pound news or from GBPCAD. Let's check out GBPCHF. Nah, there's nothing really going on here. So based on what I'm seeing so far, last week's GBPCHF buy was fantastic. We took a buy at 1.0830, and this just has moved about 70 pips or so. But right now, to me, it looks like there's a lot of liquidity building up for retail buys. There's just a lot of money here. And there's also there's equal highs up here. So, I'm listening to the things that I'm saying and I'm thinking the pound news that happens in a couple hours here. I wonder if it's not going to trigger. It can't really trigger anything. It can't mitigate any older positions that are in drawdown. I think the news that happens here in a little bit is going to set the market up for later in the week. So what I think it's gonna actually be more of a liquidity capture moment. So we may see the market, sweep the lows and then continue, or we may see the market do the opposite of this, and it may take out the highs. So we may end up seeing, that high sweep of the highs, and then we get a brand new structure, and then we can look to sell this in the future. So it just depends on how things move. We may not really get an entry, but we may get the setup that leads to the entry. So that's why sometimes the best thing that you can do is just let the market show you its true intentions. Let the market just show you its hand, and then you have a better way to deal with this, because guys, the truth is trading isn't like chess. I used to think about that. I used to think, okay, we got to treat this like chess. You have to be calculated. You have to think, all these moves ahead. And you do, but trading is way more like poker. It's way more like poker. There are bluffs involved. You have to be able to read between the lines. You have to be able to read the narrative. You have to be able to manage your money properly. And also, you need to realize you have to pay to play. And sometimes, and you also need to know when you're not. All right, I'm out of this hand. I'm just not even dealing with this. And so we approach the market not as gamblers, but as the house and the casino. We have the odds in our favor. So what we want to do is in this example, we want the market to show us what it has to work with. What's the hand of the market? Right now, we don't really know enough. We know that there's liquidity on the upside and there's liquidity down here. So we don't know. It could go either way. So we want to it's almost like, okay, you have the flop. You can see 3 cards, but there's 2 mystery cards. We don't have enough information to go and bet strongly. So cool. Everyone places their bets. And here's what happens. A news event happens. That's like you getting another card. Like, oh, okay, now I know a little bit more. Good thing I waited, because now I can see, I can see what I'm working with here. Same thing with the setup. You wait for a little more, you have more information to work with. You can make better bets. You can make better trades. Let me know if that's making sense, guys. Let me know if any of that is connecting with you. So right now, I'm just curious. So I'm going to set liquidity alerts. So alerts at certain prices. That way I know, okay, the market is clearing equal highs, or the market is clearing these trend lines. Let me start to focus up a little bit. All right. I think at least one person understood the analogy. So GBPCHF, not fully there yet, but it is getting closer. GBPJPY, distro sells are playing out right now. No clean ideas for anything, so I'm out. And then we have GBPNZD. Wow. Wow. You know what? I just realized. So remember, guys, how we were looking at earlier? Earlier, I talked about the data feeds, right? Now, some brokers, they'll show you candles or wicks that didn't actually happen. I didn't take this GBPNZD buy because I saw a wick down here and then it made equal lows. So I'm gonna double check GBPNZD on a different data feed with a different broker and see if it's the same. So I'm less salty. And okay, it basically is the same. So I don't feel as bad. Um and so here's why I say that. I didn't take that setup for GBPNZD because I saw liquidity down here. So I saw okay, there can be a reason why price maybe goes even lower and takes out these equal lows. But it came here and it closed the push that was because I want to give you guys a little bit more detail with this idea because it was a great setup. So take a look at this. So here price swipes these lows and it comes right back down to where we've seen lows before immediately leaving in balance and working its way up. So price does end up getting back to this level. I was cautious and I said, you know what, because there's equal lows, I mean, there's definitely a chance that this just go under and then it runs. So I stayed out. And then the market decided to push 250 pips. Sweet. So what do we do now? Right? What's the idea now? Are there new setups? Can we do anything about it? And honestly, I like this trade over here. We see that price starts coming down. Bless you. Price sweeps these lows, immediately makes imbalance, and never really comes back to trade these levels. So we could be getting an idea here, a buy idea at the moment in this area. This is definitely possible. So I'm going to place an alert for now. This push down here was on Friday, just a couple days ago. That's it for pound. That's basically, I'm going to go over GU real quick. But if I compare this to any other data feed, just to make sure, yeah, the push down is basically the same. You can see here, does its thing. There's a lot of liquidity, guys. When you see if you ever see the market do something like this, where it just aggressively, exponentially, just kind of just quickly rises, and then it's like a exponential curve. It'll come back. It's not sustainable whatsoever. It'll come back. So this price doesn't like to move that fast. It's a lot of orders. So a buy idea over here looks super good. Where would I take my buy? Is the question, right? Where would I now look to take this position? And I want to look back. I want to see, okay, what have we seen in the past? And we've seen resistance, 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 support, 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 a little bit lower on supports. So the market comes back over here. I have to be willing to take a buy position somewhere. But where's it going to be? And if I look at this and I look back, okay, what has like the strongest levels for reversals? I've seen support, 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 resistance, 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 kind of like right around these level. Feels good to me, but it still seems too low. I'd rather get in a little bit higher. And so I look at, okay, well, where did all these guys go? Above here, right over here. All right, so I'm going to go for right here. This is about a 20 pip stop. And then my reward is nice. Real nice. This doesn't really find or meet any type of anything until we have some support from mid-January. And by then, this is over a 7-1. 7-1. I'll take that every day of the week. Every day of the week. Every day of the week. You can do 2.0375 quarter level. Sure. So you can open that up a little bit, especially if you want to make a little bit of breathing room considering spread. So something like this. And then you can just take this to where you saw a previous floor or something like that. So we'll take it to a 7-1. GBP, NZD looks super clean. I know I'm going through this. So if you want to look at this again, this will be available on my YouTube, so you guys can go and watch this again. So you're ready for these setups throughout the week, or maybe they even play out next week. And last but not least, GBPUSD, pound dollar. I've really stayed away from this quite a bit. GU, some of you, this might be your favorite pair. I've just stayed out. To me, it's just been like, and this was predictable, but it's been so much money in these buys in these areas that I had a feeling this was not going to be sustainable. We were going to crack through. And right now, there's liquidity everywhere. You have equal lows over here. We had some nice little sells from earlier in the week. But yeah, there's liquidity down here that the market could target. There's some down here as well. So nothing that I'm looking for at the moment to enter, but there's definitely places where the market can take money away. So either the pound is getting weaker or the dollar is getting stronger, but GU, no chance. What's my YouTube is literally my name. Just Mike Navarrete. So, all right. That concludes pound. Let's quickly hit the dollar. See what's going on there. I'm gonna give you guys the setups that I like the most, and then I'll go over the rest of what I'm seeing here. Look at that, yo! Look at that. USDCAD, our swing trade. It's just beautiful. She's just beautiful. Look at this. That's nice. You gotta love that. Come on. Something about a swing trade that just gives me like the warm and fuzzies, you know? Mike, do you see Bitcoin tanking to fool everyone thinking it was going up after ETF announcement? I mean, there already happened. We already saw Bitcoin tank like 7,000 pips. So I think that already happened. I'm not gonna really go over this too much, but we talked about this towards the end of the year. After Christmas, there was some very small time frame trades that wicked us out break even before the market flew, but there was this daily swing trade that we did get to hold. So I've been holding this one, I think 19 days. Today this might be the TP day, so we'll see what happens. But we got to run this nice from, I think this is like 300-ish pips, give or take. Gonna be a 10 risk reward trade. Nothing to add there. Transparently, 100% just flexing. That's the whole purpose of this right here. That's it. That's all. The only reason I brought that up. But to give you guys setups, all right. So I'll make it up to you for wasting a minute of your life. And I do like metals, like buys on metals, and specifically, I compare gold and silver to each other. And which one of these metals I take is totally just based on the way in which we get to the zones that we like. Now, my zones, right? My zones are always based off of money, whether it's smart money or whether it's retail money. And so my overall zone, the zone in which the market can reverse from, that's the smart money zone. So here's where we have the market just start to tank to the downside on gold. You can clearly see here the market on Thursday, last Thursday, spikes down, just sweeps, eliminates anybody who was buying off of this bullish trend line. And you can see when price comes down here, these prices are, no one's actually trading down here. No one wants these prices. Or there's not too much back and forth with these prices. Buyers are like, nah, give me that price, that's a discount that I want. So then we see price drive higher. And so at the moment, we need to come back and close out these sell positions so the market can keep pushing forward. So this is the zone where it's valid for the market to reverse from. Now, where we've seen reversals in the past, right? Levels of support here, 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 like all in this area, we've seen the market reverse. So this is where I want to take my setup. And then here we have quite the imbalance that we didn't really get any pullbacks into. So something in here I think is really likely. And so I have my entry here with my exit up here. This is a 3-to-1 setup. This looks super clean to me. And I'll go ahead and share this. Now, what I will do is this. I want you all to look at silver too. Now, in the morning, silver was just more bearish. So it looked like gold is probably going to get into this area last, but everything can change. So, and there's an easy way to kind of tell what's a little bit more bearish or bullish. You can just use your fib tool. And in this example, since we're bullish on structure, we go from low to high. And you can see right here, the market's sitting at definitely not down at a 38.2. It's sitting at like 23.6. So this is where price is chilling right now on gold. Now, if I move over to silver and I do the same thing, okay, where's the market actually sitting? You can see that the market is sitting at 38.2. So silver has dropped more. So the chances are is that silver is going to get lower faster. And so if gold has to keep coming down, that's going to only push silver down. So silver is more likely to hit stop loss to go down to these levels than gold is. So that's why I'd rather take my position with gold because it has just a better chance of staying within the range and not getting stopped out before it runs. So gold, definitely my preference with this setup. Y'all want a couple more? I can do a couple more. From here, we got, let's see, the other one that I liked. So I have a preference, right? Gold over silver in this example. And this other setup that I like, and I like it a lot more even now with how it's moved Asian session, is NZDUSD. NZDUSD to me looks super clean. Looks like a great setup. We saw the market spike up and clear out sellers here, retail sellers here, and even went and cracked above here slightly. After that happened, the market comes crumbling down. And so before we were seeing sideways movement with the dollar and some lows. Now we're for sure more bearish. This low, not only is it below this, but also below the lows in the past. So we're definitely there's definitely a lot more sellers with NZDUSD. And so whenever we make our way back, I think we're going to see some really good ideas. And the reason I'm taking it so much further down has to do with the imbalance that we have over here. So at the moment, this is my idea with NZDUSD. And there you have it, NZDUSD. So far we've gone over gold, NZDUSD, What else did we go over? Oh, thanks for dropping the link there. Appreciate that. GBPNZD, GBPCAD potentially, UCAD. We went over quite a bit, honestly. So this is a nice setup because this is a 6-1. Who doesn't like a good 6-1? That's fire. Outside of that, I'll do a quick recap. AUD USD is a little bit less bearish, so not looking to go there. EU has a lot of liquidity issues, so well, not issues. There's just a lot of retail sellers and a lot of equal highs, so I'm not liking really much there. USDCHF continue to push bullish, no entries there. UJ, same thing. And then I'll wrap up with my perspective with the crypto market as a whole. I think I'm gonna just do another video for this instead. But yeah, ETF. This is the funniest thing in the world, and we talked about it last week. I think it was last Wednesday. Here was when oops, announces Bitcoin ETF by the SEC. Then they said that they get hacked. Whatever. And then it actually happens. So no, what was it? I think one of these two, I don't remember. I think it might have been Tuesday. Yeah. This was the sorry, we got hacked ETF moment. This was ETF launches and then it's New York Open after ETF was announced. So money, comes in, shakes people out. And then now on the 1 hour time frame, we are looking bearish, but I'm not really looking for bearish movement in the market until the 4 hour shifts. If that happens, if we get a break on the 4 hour, then I think we're going to go and target 30K. But that needs to happen first. Otherwise, I don't know if we're going to get down here quite yet. So I don't have proof yet that we're going further down. As of now, I'm not quite ready to look for anything like that. If we do though, right? So if somehow for whatever reason we end up getting below this low, so if we crack 40,700 and we actually like trade below here, then okay, yeah, then I think we could get and see the market maybe work its way to 30K before it moons for a great time. Right. But that's something like that needs to happen first. If this happens, then that. Otherwise, I'm not looking for anything related to sell. So that's a big if, a massive if. But what I will say is this, and I feel like I iterate this every time, but I like to look at the crypto majors, or I think that's what I called it. But I like to look at the market cap for crypto. So I'm not really so focused on what Bitcoin's doing. I like to look at what is the entire ecosystem here doing. And on the 4 hour, we're just getting pullbacks on the 4 hour. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, accumulation. The price gets down to these levels. It's having a hard time trading down here. Every time market slips down, it just keeps rallying. So the entire market cap as a whole with crypto, definitely pushing bullish. And then if you take away Bitcoin, these altcoins, they're definitely not in any type of bearish energy at all. Altcoins are still bullish on basically on most time frames. If you take away ETH, it's still pretty similar as well. So we're starting to see altcoins really squeeze. Total 3, that's the name of this chart, which is the entire crypto market cap, except for not including Ethereum and not including Bitcoin. So if you take those out, you can see that altcoins right now they've been super bullish. The drops haven't been anywhere near as aggressive. So Bitcoin is really what's getting taken profit out of, and alts are running when we are seeing those Bitcoin drops. So right now, I don't have signs that it's, that we're going to see a long-term shift down yet. It's possible though. It's not like that's not out of the question, but I wait for the proof in order to make these kind of decisions. I sent a 4-hour and 1-hour setup. I see you. I'm in this one. What you in right now? GJ? Oh, nice. That's a quick little 1 minute GJ buy. That's savage. I wouldn't have taken this. You see how fast it came up and came back down? I would have not, like, I just wasn't sold. I'm not sold on that kind of price action, but you're a savage because I see the setup. I would have preferred for this to trade up here a little longer, but that's lit. That makes me happy. There we go. That risk reward. I mean, that's like a 5.5 pip stop, and then you're running this for 70 pips. That's nice. That's like a good like 13, 14 risk reward. You're a savage. Well done. BTC to 12K. Nah, it's not happening anymore. I don't think that's happening. Nah. If you look, that was me. I was calling out that same number. Actually, I was calling it even lower. But after looking at how the stock market already mitigated all of COVID price action, all that COVID money, that's already been caked into the market. It's already been priced in. I don't think we're dumping that low anymore. Um, but yeah, I had the same thoughts for a while, and then I had to go zoom out, look at the macro, look at a couple different things, and yeah, I'm not sold on. I don't think we're gonna get down there anymore. But guys, amazing session. Obviously a little bit of recap here. Personally, I'm not even really throwing a lot of money at the bigger coins. I've been around the block here a lot, and I'm having calculated risks with coins that I think are going to get a lot of attention. But we'll go with that. I'll say is this: know who you're learning from. If you are going to be involved in the crypto space as well, then be really, really meticulous. Cover your tracks. Don't connect your wallet to things you don't know. Don't click weird links, and don't get dumped on by influencers. So just be careful on what you put your money in. And then the market itself, outside of crypto stuff, guys, normal, great setups. We got gold with easy setups, NZDUSD, good setups. And then we'll be doing live sessions on indices here every morning, as we do all of the time. My favorite setup right now with indices is a US 30 sell opportunity that I'm waiting for way up here. So I am going to be looking at US 30 sells tomorrow. If US 30 stays being kind of the lagging one, but US 30 looks the cleanest right now for sells. So we'll see what happens next here. Tune in tomorrow so that you can see what we're doing. And as always, communicate with your people, ask for feedback, and more than anything, you don't feel like you got to rush any part of this journey. Don't feel like you need to be making money now. If you don't even trust your plan, then build data, track your trades, journal everything, and just get feedback as much as possible. If someone's willing to give you feedback and they have more experience than you, get it. And the only reason like people really fail as a trader is they're looking to fill some sort of expectations that just don't really make sense. So trade for the discipline, trade the setups, you're gonna be all right. But yeah, peace out, guys. And again, I'll see you again on next Monday if you're plugging in just to these sessions. Otherwise, we're here every day together in the mornings. So peace out, guys. Till next time.